Hello friends and followers, 26th of May 2018. It's good to have you back here with us. This is a news flash story of some information about the Nimitz story from Pentagon, which may confirm that it's actually real or parts of it is real. And Earl from MUFON has been in contact with the guy via email, and it sounds very promising, and he's confirming what parts of the story is true. And he will probably meet face to face with him and do an interview, and maybe do a update video in the coming weeks, so stay tuned for that. So let's go on with it and present what I found out this weekend and see what you think. USS Nimitz intercepts UFOs in Socal, December 2006. So it basically goes on and talks about a short story he wrote, which is a fictional account of true events. Now it sounds very similar to what was released from Pentagon. It took place in December 2006, but the F4 video was leaked in 2004, so maybe he's changed the dates there. During training exercise located off the coast of San Diego, the Nimitz strike group consisted of 6 US Navy warships and dozens of aircraft intercepted and were engaged by UFOs. So this is a slight change to the original story of the Nimitz encounter, that they were chasing the UFOs and not being intercepted by them. Now this guy claims he was aboard the ship. I was there. I was the first to notice the strange craft on our Spy 1D radar system. I was the first to confirm the object's existence using our CEC system, not an anomaly. They recommended intercepting the objects to the Air Force commander. This is also an attempt by me to explain, to this day remains unexplained. And stranger still, how one of the most witnessed and highly documented UFO encounters in history still remains largely unknown. Quite likely this is the first you ever heard of it too. The admin can contact me via my hidden email address if desired. So that's how it starts off. So remember, these were pulled off a old message board, and before the Pentagon releases, what's that, it's another 9 years after. So he's saying here to the people that commented on this board, which they've managed to recover since the website doesn't exist anymore: thank you for all your comments on my experience. The essence of my fictional story is true. To this day, however, I do not have an explanation for what we intercepted, hence the reason for my short story. The objects all came into our radar coverage in the vicinity of Catalina Island. They travelled in sets of 4 to 7 objects, all tracking south at 28,000 feet, 100 knots. They maintained relative position to each other as they flew south. They disappeared from our radar coverage off the coast of Mexico at around 28.9 northwest, 118.26 west. The US Nimitz strike group conducting computics and preparing for a morning air defense exercise, or ADX. Now he goes on a fair bit there, but a lot of it's just cut from his book. We have a copy to his book on the same website, above top secret forum post, and I've got some clippings that I'll add at the end, but best to go and visit the site and download the full book because he's made it available free. I will post a link to the website so you can go and grab the book. See the description of this video. The link is available on page 3, depending if there's going to be more posts added to it, but you can find it there on page 3 if you in one of the comments. It says here the Tic Tac UFO incident was witnessed by hundreds of Navy personnel, radar and weapons systems operators, trained observers. So that sounds very much like what was said from the To the Stars website. And lastly, here they've got a snapshot of the poster's identity on the blog or forum, and someone has posted better zoomed in font of excerpts from his book. I'll just read out a couple here, but I will include some snaps of pages from the book at the end, so you can have a quick read of some of the more interesting snippets from the book. So I'll just include the snapshots here. I won't read out what it all says because it's repeating basically what I've said anyway. So I'll just leave them on the screen there and just pause it if you want to read it. So I guess it's going to open up more worms. The skeptics will say, there you go, it proves it's a story from a book. The Pentagon releases. But I see it the other way around. I see that the guy's saying it's based on a real account and it was done before the Pentagon releases, which are meant to be official government approved releases. But there's some questions about that being approved or being classified in the first place. But the reason for that is because the government gave it to Bigelow, a private corporation which doesn't fall under freedom of information, so they could hide it in plain sight, so to speak. And so maybe Bigelow was the one that uploaded the F4 video to a German 3D website, graphic website, so it would be classed by others seeing it as a fake or computer generation. But it might have been a way to share the large file back in those days, because they didn't have cloud servers and Google Drive, and email was restricted to 20 megabytes, or it still is today. It wasn't designed to share video. So yeah, it makes sense that they may want to get other people, experts, to have a look at it in Germany and other countries, or other governments to look at it, or just to see what the reaction to it is to the public. So there's a lot of questions here, more questions than answers as usual. Also, someone has posted a comment here to Reddit saying there's a similar story about sailors observing a UFO on a aircraft carrier, but it doesn't say the name, like Nimitz. Perhaps this is the story to the gimbal one, who knows? Or maybe there's a lot of stories like this, military stories of UFO encounters and USOs, objects from under the sea. We don't know. This is the tip of the iceberg perhaps, and maybe disclosure will finally happen and we'll get to see all these reports finally, like we should do anyway. I do see it says tic-tac in that report there, lifting out from the sea, so it does sound like the Nimitz one as well. So, but there's a lot of variations in the story, maybe different eyewitness accounts. And so now we get on to some snippets from the PDF ebook, and I won't read out all this, but here's some interesting bits from various pages. I suggest going download it and read the full book, and wait till we hear more from Earl from MUFON on if he's going to do an interview with this guy or not. So I'll leave it there and hope you enjoyed the news item here and UFO information. Let's hope this is legit, because it could be one of the best UFO cases that has been revealed to the public from military sources. So we also saw there that the guy's real name is called Kevin M. Day, and he used the alias The Seer, which explains here in a chapter what the Seer means, about people observing a experiment that's been set up by someone else, again to do with quantum physics. So I'll wrap it up there, and If you like the episode, click the like button. It helps the channel out. It costs you nothing. It's totally free what I do, and liking stuff helps it get promoted more. Also, sharing the video link to your socials and friends and emails helps everybody out in the UFO community.